Good morning, all. Camelback Trading 2724 coming to you this Friday morning, December 20th. Looking at the last 4 days of the SPY ETF on the market profile. And remember what we talked about last night as we went ex-dividend, okay? It's about $1.54. It looked like we closed at 320.87. They have the last sale is 319.33. Now we're trading at 319.75. So to put that in perspective, if you bought it just for the dividend, right now you can sell it up 42 cents, right? So you'd lose on the stock. You'd make $420 net if you were to sell it right now. It is certainly distorting a lot for us on the profile and on the chart. So market generated information will be more important than ever trading the SPY today, okay? Yes, if we open out, it's still an hour to go. We could end up opening back up here. But if we open down around this level, even below yesterday's low, you could have a dividend gap. The single prints will be filled. You'll be back in this 3-day range. But if there really are buyers there, eventually we should get back up above this. And we also have the gap to look at. So I'm going to give you destinations and a game plan. But again, a lot of it's distorted. Right now on the upside. So if we do gap lower, I'm going to have to use yesterday's low of 319.75 as your first destination, even though it's a dividend gap. Okay? Then above that, we wouldn't have anything until yesterday's high, an all-time high of 320.98, which is also a poor high. And then last night's overnight all-time high of 321.25. So yes, once again, the all-time high is in the overnight. For the downside, you should have all the destinations I gave you throughout the day, so I'm not going to give them to you. I'm just going to give you yesterday's low, still certainly using that right now, of 319.75. Then you have the daily low and poor low of 319.53, daily low of 319.48, and then a daily low of 319.17, and then the gap that gets filled to 318.67. That's a 50-point gap, and it would be a weekly gap if we fill it. And then I'll give you two more. Below that, 317.13, 11 wide from the 13th, and 317.08 afternoon pullback low from the 13th. So if we open around this level, even lower, you could take out a bunch of daily lows, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. You could wipe out 4 daily lows in a heartbeat. But to me, if this market was pretty, right? We had a trend day that held for the first time in 2 months almost. If this market, if the buyers is still there, if there was no dividend, I would be saying, if we were trading up here, I'd be saying, well, we have to see if there's buyers, right? Where there was single prints, right? There are intraday gaps. Well, it's going to be the same for that weekly gap. This might be people just getting out. They bought it for the dividend. If it doesn't work, they get out, right? So I would expect to find buyers in that gap. So my game plan would be, if we open and do take out the last 3 days lows, I would probably look to start buying it around the 319, the 319.17 level, which is the daily low into the gap, right? It's a 50-point gap. I'd use that gap probably as my out, because if that gap gets filled, you saw the destinations I gave you below there. It's $1.50 away. So I would expect to find buyers again in that weekly gap. That'd be a buy scenario. If we open, never take out yesterday's low, and start trading up, there's really not much here. I mean, you can buy it and use yesterday's low as an out also, but the odds are if you do take out yesterday's low, you're going to take out at least the other 2 days' lows. I don't have a put play right now. I need market-generated information. The only reason I'm giving you that one is because of the dividend. If this thing does decide to come in, because I think there should be some buying at that level inside that gap. I do not have a put scenario as of right now. Okay? I'll update you as we get closer, but right now market generated information in the initial balance is going to be huge because of the dividend. And then real quick, monthly up, gap is my main focus. Weekly up, gap my main focus, right? That's going to be huge. And then the daily, if we take out yesterday's low, we are going to stop the one-time framing up, but it's due to the dividend. But I can't help that. But right now, we're not even taking that out yet, so you still might not. Right now, we're one-time framing up for 7 days. So it remains to be seen, even with the dividend, if we stop the one-time framing up. The 50-day keeps creeping up. We're over 308. Good luck trading today. Have a great day, and we'll recap the day and the week at 4 p.m.